These are the top 7 signs of adult ADHD. 1. Lack of focus. This is the obvious one, right? You've probably become an expert at masking, but you still struggle to understand what people are saying and you often zone out. You may even focus better when you're doing something else simultaneously. When I went to school back in the dark ages before you could scroll your smartphone in class, my notes were doodled to high heaven. I couldn't absorb a single thing, but I remembered things pretty well if I could draw my way through them. 2 is obsessing. Yay, hyperfocus. I started to notice the pattern in my life that when I become interested in something, I become deeply invested in whatever that is. This obsession can present as anxiety, especially around major life changes. Like, for example, I was diagnosed with ADHD in my 40s, but 2 decades prior, I was diagnosed with anxiety. Makes sense. 3, overreacting and underreacting. The ADHD brain seems like it's moving at a million miles an hour, and that can make it hard to slow down and follow through, so it's really easy to get overwhelmed. Sensory overload can cause us to feel anxious, and our responses to even minor setbacks can get very big. Combine that with something like time blindness or rejection-sensitive dysphoria, and it's the perfect storm for an emotional outburst. Or sometimes the opposite happens, and we become so overwhelmed that we shut down and underreact. 4, speed reading and tab hopping. How many tabs are open on your computer right now? Be honest. I counted mine. It was 41. I go back and forth all day long. And sometimes when reading, ADHDers go too fast, skipping entire paragraphs. It all comes back to focus. We tend to overload ourselves with information, and we don't know how to slow down. 5 is hyperdrive mode or get nothing done mode with nothing in between. We have this insane ability to focus. It's almost like we're in a trance, especially if it's something that we're interested in. But then we go into these periods where we can't seem to do anything, and we beat ourselves up for not being more motivated. It just feels like you're frozen and you cannot move or get anything done, and it's really frustrating. 6, issues with food. Binge eating, seeking gratification through food, or hypervigilance over your food intake, all of these things can be related to ADHD. We struggle with impulse control, and we also seek novelty and gratification, which can lead us to major issues in the kitchen. 7 is the inability to multitask or work under pressure. This goes back to feeling overwhelmed and our reactions to the sense of everything is too much. Pressure can cause us to make silly mistakes. And sometimes we do get distracted and we go on side quests to help us regain our focus. I didn't get my ADHD diagnosis until I was in my 40s. And I was even hesitant to accept that diagnosis because it seemed like everybody suddenly had ADHD and it was a fad or something. But if you feel like you have several of these 7 signs, it might be worth talking to a professional. Do you have any of these signs of ADHD?